Hello everybody, welcome back. Let's have a look at some crypto stuff, but we're just going to have a little look at crypto stocks actually first, because yesterday for the first time in ages, Farming Simulator 25. Wow, what a treat! Um, yeah, something was happening yesterday with crypto stocks. Now, CleanSpark, I've been holding on to CleanSpark for ages now. It's part of my pension. It's not really a stock that I hold to trade. It's part of a pension long-term plan, really. But it's been consolidating for ages, buying it around 3, watching it go all the way up to 20, and then sort of consolidate thereafter. Yesterday we sort of pushed right back up into this resistance, the resistance that's been on the card since all the way back down here. I mean, we had a good run in the last cycle. Obviously, prior to that, it was going crazy. Now, if this is a valid business, which I believe it is, it should continue to rise generally over time, which is why it's part of the pension. But it's been outperformed massively by Hut 8 Mining, which is a much better chart, and a chart which I don't actually have anything in. Do you know what I mean? So this is a good chart. Maybe this one starts to play catch up at this stage now. And Coinbase starting to break back out again. Coinbase I do have in not just pension but also in stocks. And we can see that this has done almost the same sort of thing that Bitcoin's done. 21, 21, 21, 21, 21, and launch. So we're kind of looking for this one to move up. So we're boring you to death with the stocks there, but I think it's important to think about that because stocks are traded way more by a different kettle of fish, right? A different league of traders trade crypto stocks or buy crypto stocks. Crypto itself is volatile. Crypto stocks are even more volatile for the most part to Bitcoin these days. Bitcoin is slow and steady and it's winning the race. We've still got the trend signal on the weekly, still continuing up. We're just focusing on weeklies here. And over the last couple of days or last 48 hours, we had a nice little run off the back of the Fed's rate cut. And we moved to a new local high. Now, we still do have regular bearish divergence, and we are now sort of, I suppose, feeling that a little bit. We're in the center point now for the RSI and money flow index. We're on the horizontal, which is the $117,000 zone. We're backed up by a 20 and a 21 exponential on a 4-hourly as well, just a little bit below that figure. If we do lose it though, we're above the cloud for now. There's no signal or setup on this on the daily yet. But yeah, we are above the cloud. In fact, we're above all moving averages, which are all in the correct order. 7, 10, 21, 50. Well, actually not all. You've got 20 down here. But they're all facing up and they're mostly in the right position. Each one of these being a support if we have to come down to test them at all. So if we lose this area now, 115,800, then we've got 114,700, and so on and so on and so on. There's no point really in me talking about figures when it's about moving averages as much as anything else. So that's your Bitcoin. Your Ethereum has a similar sort of setup. We are kind of above all moving averages, hitting the 10 exponential at the moment. Now, we've got a fresh positive cross on the Ichimoku cloud above the cloud. We need this cheeky span here to get above price action, which it most likely will do over the next week, to generate a trend signal. That trend signal should take you to wherever it wants to go. It's not about resistances or like a pump signal or anything like that. It'll take you up and continue to take you up until we get an inverse signal. Again, we're not there yet. We need this little squiggly Chiku span to close outside of the price action. Currently we're in this big one now, so you'd have to break beyond the all-time high to get the signal today. Tomorrow a little higher, the day after that, and the weekend a little higher than that. And then it starts to get lower and lower and lower. So we could probably get a trend signal by next week, hanging at this price or even a couple of $100 lower than this price. So not too bad. XRP still obviously broken out. It's true, it is a breakout, but other than that, we've just got to keep waiting. When it comes to XRP, it's all about just waiting now. You've had the breakout. Yeah, we all had to wait for this one, didn't we? There's going to be a big breakout soon. I can't believe it. There's going to be a big breakout soon. Can't believe it. Breakout's already happened, so we are just waiting now for it to catch momentum. It needs a little bit of help from the rest of the market. It was a good start these last couple of days. It's in a good position. At the moment, it's formed a higher high and a higher low. And so ideally you want to be above this 50 exponential. You don't want to be going below $3. But if you were to go down below $3, $2.98 on the 4 hourly, and $2.94 now on the daily. So don't want to be going lower than that, because we're starting to get a little concerned. But if we do go lower than that, it's still not a write-off. It just would spark a much deeper move down before you bounce, and maybe you can still recover from that. So there's your sort of, I suppose, big bulk of the market. I don't really see much point in digging in too deep. It was a nice move. I caught some good moves, shared them on the Telegram. But generally, the market is still the same, whether you're 25 basis points less or more or whatever. The market's still the same. It's kind of slow. It is still bullish, but it's kind of slow. And we just need a little bit more oomph in the market. That's all we need, just a little bit more oomph. And we haven't really quite got the oomph yet. Now, the way I generally interpreted the Fed's decision was that they're not in any great rush. They're going to lower it anyway. Everybody else is lowering their rates. What the hell, might as well lower ours. That's the sort of vibe I was getting. Yeah, jobs, yeah, well, whatever. But yeah, okay, we'll lower it a little bit. We might do it again later on in the year by another 25. So the market, the market sort of already reacted. It was to buy the rumour, sell the news, and then what seemed to happen after that is that the market started to buy the next rumour, which is a probable 25 basis point reduction in rates at some point before Christmas. And so I think that, if anything, what we're seeing now is we're seeing a reaction to the next buy the rumour, sell the news, which is another 25%. 25%, that would be good. Sorry, I'm still got a bit of a cold here still, but another 0.25 reduction before Christmas. I think that's what's going on. I think the market's responding to that. I think the crypto stocks are responding to the concept of your regular blow-off top in the fourth quarter, as per usual. That seems to be the Bitcoin way, isn't it? Really. So I suppose whatever happens between now and December, should have caused a peak, and that that's just an anecdote. I don't normally like to go by, I did this in March, I did this in September, I did this in, so it must do it again. Markets don't really respond to months quite like that. They're coincidental, I often think. But it is worth pointing out, December 2017 found the peak. November 21 found the peak. And, does that mean the fourth quarter finds this peak as well? Maybe it does. We'll find out, won't we? But it looks like crypto stocks are betting on something. And so maybe they're the leading indicators as to what's going to happen for Bitcoin and then the rest of the market. Overall, though, let's face it, it's been a decent bull market if you were positioned correctly, and it's not over yet. But we are making serious gains, and we are making decent structures. I don't really have anything to complain about when we look at how this bull market has gone. And it's still not over. I mean, let's face it, look at that. If you were in Bitcoin from anywhere around here, anywhere, you would be happy. I mean, I bought back on the way down here, and then a huge chunk around $21,000. So I'm happy. I also bought the 4,000s down here. So of course I'm happy. You all know my XRP scenario. Very happy with that. And obviously even Ethereum. Holding on to the majority of my Ethereum from down here, and then bought the rest around the $3,000 around here recently. So it's been a decent bull market, and it's still going on. It's not found its peak yet, but if we are going to peak, and it's not going to be September, which at the moment I don't think it is going to be September now. It might be October, it might be November, it might be December. We're just going to have to keep our eyes peeled on not just the crypto market, but all markets, because the correlation is just too high. Right, I'll leave it there. Feel free to join my Patreon. Links in the description below. Links for everything else as well below. Other than that, I hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.